Hey everyone, Dan with TrueNorthMotos. Just want to do a video on my 2023 KTM 300XC bike build. This is my personal bike, so just want to show you what I added to this thing. So we did our relay lighting kit, dual sport kit. I'm using the Baja Designs Evo S1 headlight and the Moto-Minded mount. And then we got obviously our relayed harness, signals, our all-in-one tail light, and that whole thing to make everything street legal. I gotta throw my plate on this bike. I got about 20 hours on this thing. So parts that I've added besides our stuff. I'm a big fan of the KYB forks. So these have the technical touch lugs and KYB inserts in the WP forks. I've already had these forks. They're about 5 millimeters shorter than the forks on these 23 bikes. So you can see I've ran them pretty much down to the caps, which kind of gets it to the second line where I normally run my forks. Got the SXS Burley shields. I like the big zip tie around the bar. And then of course when I run open hand guards, I gotta get the ODI bar ends. Got the SXS skid plate with the linkage guard. Bulletproof Designs radiator guards with the rubber strap kit. I really like these, especially when you do graphics on your bike, because you're not gonna break those tabs off nearly as easy. Let's see here. I don't think it's necessary, in my opinion, to put the swing arm tab guard. They've kind of beefed up this whole swing arm tab back here. So I'm pretty happy with that the way it is. I did add the rear disc and caliper guard from Bulletproof Designs. Rear shock has the WP bladder kit and then one of the Q springs for my weight. Did a Cherubies frame guards, and then I got new plastics and did the throwback color scheme. I think it turned out pretty amazing. Enduro Engineering spark arrestor tip. Not the biggest fan of screen tips, but I didn't want the big bulky exhaust. I really like how the new exhaust on the 23 looks. So just make sure to clean that out. I just use a torch after I wash the bike about every ride and keep it clean. Did the DID Pro wheels. Found these on a deal and couldn't pass it up. We got Dirt Tricks rear sprocket. I switched it to a 50 tooth. This bike comes with 1449. Actually, the gearing was really good. I like the 50 just a little bit lower, and then also I can swap all my wheels between my bikes because I run 1450 on my 450 as well. Let's see. Got our dual USB charger right here. My mount for my phone with maps, and then it's also my Speedo if I'm ever on the road, just on a little RAM mount. This is a new bracket we built to mount the fan. I'm using a Tusk fan. Honestly, not the biggest Tusk fan, but their fan kit uses a Panasonic fan. It's only 15 watts, and if you've done any research on these bikes, you know that they have a low output stator. This rattled out of the top. I'll be putting this back in down on the bottom here. But so we wired this fan kit right into our relayed harness, and then have a switch to turn the headlight off so the fan can just be running. I've been running this fan with my light on here in the P&W winter. Intermediate fan use with the light on. I have not killed the battery at all yet, so just gonna keep testing on that. Otherwise, I got about 15, 20 hours on this bike so far. One thing I did notice is bike was fouling plugs when I initially would start it up. Tried a few different startup procedures, the old TPI way, kind of the old carb way of just kind of keeping it cleaned out. Didn't matter which way I did it, it basically would just foul a plug almost every time I started the bike. I have since switched to a BR7 Iridium spark plug and gone from 60-to-1 to 50-to-1 and have no issues at all with the fouling plugs. So no detonation, nothing like that. That's kind of what I'm going to be running. If you got the flashing code, 5 long flashes, there's a new map for these bikes, so take it into your dealer. What happens if you hit your starter button while the bike's running, which is easy to do with this new button? It has a software glitch and it makes a code flash on there. So that happens, take it to your dealer, get it remapped with a new map. Tires, M59, probably my favorite front tire. With the Nitro Mousse in the front, standard Nitro Mousse, the Platinum. In the back for these slippery P&W Winters, I am running the JX8 with a plushy Nitro Mousse. So that is my current status and build on this 23 300XC. Love this thing. The motor is amazing, smooth and super powerful, and just keeps revving to the moon. Tons of over rev on this bike. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for checking it out.